Back to our top story this evening, a family grieving the loss of a husband and father while the law enforcement community is grieving the loss of one of its own. We were first on the scene of a deadly crash on Airline Highway, and soon after we learned the victim was a Jefferson Parish sheriff's deputy. The tragedy happened during a funeral procession, and Meg Fears is live for us on the scene where it all happened. Certainly a tragic loss, Meg.
Absolutely, Charisse, and it was a very quiet and solemn scene this afternoon out here on Airline Highway as NOPD officers, Jefferson Parish sheriff's deputies gathered evidence, as well as cleaned up the scene, and they were here finding out it was one of their own lost his life. Now, a man who's been in law enforcement for 16 years, a Jefferson Parish deputy, was doing off-duty work leading a funeral procession to ensure the safety of others, telling a loved one goodbye. The eyewitness who works near the scene was outside on a conference call when he says a funeral procession was in the far left lane. He saw the deputy on the motorcycle in the lane next to that. He saw him slow down to stop and block off the intersection so the procession could move through. That's when the eyewitness says the driver in the car behind the deputy hit him.
And the person behind him didn't even attempt to stop from what I saw. I didn't see any brake lights light up, and she rammed into him from behind and proceeded to run him over. When she hit him, it sounded like an explosion, and it really startled me, honestly, and it was unbelievable. Man, it breaks my heart, honestly. Like, really, prayers out to their family. It's devastating seeing something like that, especially from somebody from law enforcement, people that, you know, risk their lives every day to protect us.
Now, this part of Airline near the entrance to the Palmetto overpass was shut down both ways for nearly 3 hours today as police drones gathered evidence. A tow truck took the car away along with the wreckage of the destroyed motorcycle. That's the latest from the scene here on Airline Highway. Now we go to the Level 1 Trauma Center at University Medical Center with my colleague, Alyssa Curtis. Alyssa.
Yeah, Meg, that deputy was brought here to UMC after the crash, and I've seen several JPSO units in and out of the hospital today, I'm sure showing support for that deputy's family. That deputy, we're told, was a 16-year law enforcement veteran. 14 of his years were spent with JPSO, and that incident has shaken the law enforcement community. We saw strong support, not just of JPSO, but also NOPD here today. The two agencies often work together, and getting through this tragic incident, I'm sure, won't be any different.
Tough day for everybody involved, and I can tell you Sheriff Lopinto has every confidence in NOPD to fully, completely investigate this incident. And you know, like I said, it's a tough day for both families, for NOPD and JPSO, and we're going to work together to make sure that this family's taken care of and his memory is honored.
Like Captain Rivard said, NOPD is investigating this incident because it happened in Orleans Parish, but from what it looks like, that support will go far beyond the investigation. Live here at UMC, Alyssa Curtis, WWL Louisiana.
All right, thank you, Alyssa. Megan, Alyssa will join us live with another update on that deadly crash coming up at 6 o'clock.